Welcome. Welcome. Producer Joe did it to me again. Always tries to catch us by surprise. That's his thing. That's what he does. Welcome to the Put It in the Book show. All right. We're not going to talk much. Today, it's only going to be me and the voice of God up here, Producer Joe. Producer Joe, what's going on? He's not going to talk to me now.
You're not hearing my Charlie Brown teacher when I play it. That's the problem. So I can't play sound effects. I got to talk. If I have to talk, I'll talk. But everybody else is hearing my sound effects.
Okay, well, as long as they hear your sound effects, I got a problem hearing the sound effects, but I just want to hear your melodic tones, your sweet voice, Producer Joe. Anyway,
I'm here.
Oh, that's your creepy voice. It doesn't do it though.
Well, see, you're not hearing. I'm playing it with creepy music. You go back and listen to the show later, and you'll see.
It'll probably be great, right?
You know what? It'll all make sense. Everything will make sense. You know what else makes sense? I'll tell you. Let's
start the show.
Put it in the box!
All right, so I guess I thought I was gonna do the show by myself, guys, but we're back on again.
No. We have a guest coming. Yeah, there's a guest joining us.
Yeah.
Guest speaker this week.
All right, so right now for the first few minutes, it's gonna be me, Rodriguez. Put It in the Book show. We're on season 8, episode 11. We're ready to start winning some games. We got Producer Joe up here somewhere. He's going to fill in for our guest that's coming in a couple of minutes.
Yes, I'm right here.
Producer Joe, I don't even know why we even let this guy come in. I think we should just cut him. Like we did last week with Farace. We cut him. Don't let him come in.
I'm okay with that.
If you can't be on time, then you can't be here. Period.
Yeah, exactly. Period. Yeah, he made everybody wait.
He made everybody wait. So now he has to wait, okay? Tell him to go do his toiletries, do whatever he needs to do. Let him do his thing. We're going to start the show. Okay.
Why does it have to be toiletries? What made your brain go there?
Because that's where I picture him doing and saying, "Oh, the show's going to be on at like 7:30, 7:15. Let me go take a nice big toiletry."
You know what? That tracks. You know, that sounds accurate. Okay.
It should definitely track. However, this is the Mets baseball show, and I'm going to be talking about the Mets. We have a lot of information that you guys really don't need, but we're going to tell you anyway.
Even more.
And even more. So whatever Producer Joe puts up there that I can't hear, people, forgive me. I didn't know. It's on him. He's the voice of God today, and he's running the show. So the first thing that we're going to talk about is this terrible, terrible losing streak that we've been on. Okay. Now I know that Met fans go crazy because I've been going crazy myself a little bit. The other day, I try to be happy. I try to be positive, you know, and look at the game as it's just a game. We got another 83 games left or whatever the heck we got going on. But, you know, when you lose to the Braves, when you lose to the Filthies, you know, it just kind of hurts. You know, they sweep these two teams just beat up on you. You get swept by Tampa. You get swept by the stinking Braves. Philadelphia comes in kind of, you know, and now we're kind of in trying to split this series with the Braves. So there's a lot of up and downs in the season, and we got to get used to that type of stuff. But Producer Joe, as a fellow Met fan, I mean, it's kind of hard to lose all these games in a row and have these guys right on our tail. And
it's very demoralizing, especially to the Braves and the Phillies. It's very, very demoralizing. And I mean, literally, this losing streak started when we had the best record in baseball. We were on top of the world 2 weeks ago. On top of the world. 2 weeks ago today, best record in baseball. That was the name of our episode. And yeah, 2 weeks later, it's like they're writing us off. You're not even going to make the playoffs.
Oh
Good luck.
no, no.
The Mets are miserable even when they're in first place. And yeah, no,
Oh, how is that possible that our fan base can be miserable sometimes and be in first place with the best record in baseball? I was wondering that the other day, and I'm thinking to myself, man, I hope we don't go into a losing streak. And Baruch, here we go with that stupid losing streak. We ended up losing all these games, falling out of first place, filthy here, Braves there, and then we got these guys talking smack to us. Guys like Snyder from the Braves trying to throw at us, trying to make us feel like we're crap. What's
yeah,
up with that?
I know. It was
Shh, don't tell anybody. Producer Joe. Shh, don't tell anybody. He's sneaking up on us. He's in the back somewhere.
no, he's still here. He's just hidden.
He's still there. He just hide him for another. Punish him so that he understands what it's like to not be on time. I thought, not for nothing, but I thought white guys supposed to be on time. They're never late.
In theory.
In theory, okay.
I think he's still working on his audio.
I was. Thanks, Joe. I've had my head so far up inside of work's butt that I just totally lost it. I apologize to everybody on the show and everybody watching. So
listen, don't apologize to the 3 fans that we have. Okay, they'll be okay. They love it that you're back on. Mr. Laris is back. We got producer Joe. We're missing Farace, so let's throw a little.
Yeah, Ruger.
And we got Ruger, yeah, and we're missing Farace, so let's throw Farace a little bone because that's what he gets. He gets a little bone every once in a while.
Yeah, Farace had other engagements on a Yankee podcast. He wasn't able to join us today.
Yeah, Met fans, remember this: Farace's a skanky lover, secret skanky lover, and he can come on the show and rebuff that remark, fight against us. But he's a skanky.
I think it's the Phillies, right? Isn't that what his son is? The Phillies?
Oh, so his son's on the Philly? No, I thought his son was really a Philly fan.
Yeah,
I think
Farace requested he be put on the Phillies. Yeah.
Yeah, so there's a lot of corruption going on here with Farace. We still love him. We believe we can regain his Mets fandom. He's, it's like when somebody in AA falls off, they grab a drink, you get him back on the wagon. We're gonna have to do that with Farace, everybody.
Yeah, he's on the skanky wagon. Baby. Thank you, Farace. Go skanky your life away. Well, listen, Keith, we were just talking real quickly about the ups and downs of the season and how, you're at the top of the world in 1 minute, and the next thing you're losing to the Tampa Bay Rays and the Filthies and the freaking Braves. So, like producer Joe said, we had the best record in baseball a couple of weeks ago. We brag about it. We pat ourselves on the back. And then look what happens. We're going to a nice losing streak where our fabled bullpen goes to crap. So
we kind of mirrored the Phillies' complete lack of anything for about the same period of time. We took advantage and we took such a big lead on them that fortunately, now that we fell into their position because we were able to take advantage of their slumping, we're still only a half game out. Really, and how we've been playing, we should be like 5 or 6 games out. So, we're still right in there, and Fuacata, Phillies, and Braves.
Oh, you gave them an early beginning of the show, Fuacata. Okay, all right, that'll carry us through the show. Our hatred for the Filthies and the Braves is strong. That'll carry us. Producer Joe, what are we gonna do with all these guys that are hurt? We got Manaea. What's it? How do you say that?
Manaea.
We got Manaea, who hurt his
elbow.
Was it an elbow? I thought he had another region.
I know what you were gonna say. It was his elbow.
Okay,
a left gonad.
His left gonad. He doesn't have a left gonad, I believe. Montas came back. Vientos is ready to come back. He should be coming back and helping us with some offense because we suck. But let's talk about. What's that guy's name? Manaea. Okay, Keith, what do you think about Manaea getting hurt after not pitching all this time? How's he getting hurt? He's practicing. He got hurt in practice.
Yeah, so I don't know much about his injury. I don't know what kind of setback this is, but it's disappointing. I mean, come on, dude. You're a professional athlete. Your body should be toned. You should be conditioning yourself to the actions, and in this particular case, severe repetitive actions from as a pitcher. You should be conditioning yourself as such. I don't know if he had this kind of injury in the past, but to sum it up, it's really disappointing.
Well, it was important that he came up too because we have Senga and we have Tylor out, so we do need some starting pitching, and it was
Yep,
pretty important for him to finally start. But you know how it is when these guys don't start at the beginning of the season. The next thing you know, it's the All-Star break, and here they come.
I
Uh,
know.
it could be a good thing for us where we get a quality pitcher after the All-Star break because now with this elbow thing and nonsense, he's not going to be ready. Another 2 to 3 weeks of getting tuned up. Now he's going to go and sit down on his sofa and watch TV and get fat. He's got to lose weight. He's going to start trying to, pitch again. It's going to be another month before he even gets on the mound, probably. And we're going to have to deal with Montas, however you guys want to say it. But he came in and he did a really good job, man. Came in 5 innings, pitched very well, shutout innings, was throwing 96 to 98, moving the ball around. Did a really good job. Producer Joe, what do you think about Montas?
I was impressed. It wasn't what I thought what we were going to get, so it's better than I thought. I mean, he looked great. I mean, he moved the ball around nicely, and would have been nice to see him stretch it out longer than 5. But I guess for a first start back, the best you could expect. But
Five is like 9 innings now, right, Keith? We were just talking about him the other day, Keith, how Montas would come back after he's been so terrible in his rehab assignments. But he did say he was just trying to get his stuff going. So what do you think? You think he's going to be a valuable guy?
If he pitches like he did in his first start coming back, yeah, absolutely. I mean, he's a solid 4 or 5 starter, and right now we need that. All of our what we would call our potential aces are kind of down. We're relying on people who really haven't started or been in this capacity before to step up, and it's a lot of pressure on them, and that's why going back to Manaea Mays. I'm disappointed. I mean, he had elbow discomfort. He got a shot in his elbow, which always scares me, right? Elbow discomfort. Then you start thinking like, what, Tommy John? So if Montas can come back and be solid 6 inning pitcher, 3 runs a game for those 6 innings, and not walk the bases every inning full. It's huge because we need something right now. Losing, Senga, Manaea's delay is it's crucial. It's tough. It's tough on us.
Well, not even pitching 6 innings because right now 5 innings is the golden standard for these guys. So however, he does really need, and everyone on our staff needs to, whoever's there. And I'm sorry to say it, I don't want to tear these guys up, but they do have to get into the 6th and 7th inning. These starters, and they were starting to. They were starting to put good games together. You know, because what you don't pitch 6, 7 innings, you overwork that bullpen, and it's starting to show. Because how we're losing guys, our bullpen is choking. Most of the guys in the bullpen seem to be worn down. The hitters are seeing what they're throwing. They're not changing speeds. Their location is off. So there's something going on. And the Mets have addressed that. They brought up some bullpen help, some young guys from the minor leagues. They've also are looking and are signing bullpen guys to come in, lefties and rights, whoever they can find out there. It seems like they're trying to find. So our bullpen is really hurt right now. And what do you think, guys? What do you think we should do about that, Keith? Do you think we should try to make a trade and bring in some really qualified bullpen guy? You think we need a couple of starters? Because the trade talk is out there for the trader. People want the trader. And
I'm trying to think. Are we still doing 6-man in the starting rotation? We're back down to 5, right?
We don't have 6, Keith. How could we do that 6? Senga's out, so there's really no point in doing a 6-man.
McGilly is out.
Yeah. Everyone's out. Everyone's getting hurt, and but they're coming back, supposedly. We thought we had Manaea back. Montas came back. Vientos is coming back. He's not a pitcher,
my point
but
was, and we might want to take 2 starters, and hopefully they can complete 9 innings between the 2 of them. Reason why I'm saying that is, we're getting some dead arms out in the bullpen, and that's the facts, right? They're not getting their pitches the way they want them to come into the plate because they're out there too much. They're exhausted. Starters get 4 or 5 days rest. These bullpen guys right now, with the way our starters are pitching, are not getting more than 2 days rest. And it's not that they're not effective pitchers. We're not positioning them to be effective. We're not giving them the tools to perform in the way that we need because we're just beating them up too much because our starters can't make it out of the 5th inning at best lately, the way we've been getting knocked around.
Well, when you bring in a guy every other day and he's pitching an inning, he's pitching because nowadays people can't pitch more than an inning or 2. It's not like the older days when we were young that they were a reliever would come in and pitch 2 or 3 innings and actually help the team. These guys come in with 1 inning, and if they could come in for 1 batter, the managers would be doing that right now because they would do a lot of mixing and matching.
Yeah, that went out the window, right? With the years ago, that rule.
That's gone out the window. But yeah, you need guys that are going to give you length. And if Montas hasn't pitched the whole year, he's got to come in and give you 6 innings, maybe 7. So we either trade for a starter or we keep signing all these middle relievers that are out there and just bringing them in for an inning or 2. And
Frankie's going to get the easy. He's not going to do 5. He's not going to do more than 5 for a little bit, So that's what we got with him, and that's unfortunate. But maybe we could if we can get somebody else in that rotation, and we could take him and a Blackburn, and they can pitch every 5th day together, something like that.
I think I've been saying that for years. I would do that for sure.
Yeah. The Dodgers did it. Won a World Series last year. Remember, their every 5th day starting rotation was a committee.
To me, that's a little bit off. I don't like that whole committee thing. I wouldn't mind that 6-man rotation, and I like for the 6-man for the last guys in the rotation to be 2 guys, like a Budo and a lefty. Let's say you bring in a lefty, he does 3 or 4 innings, and you bring in a Budo, he does 4 or 5 innings, and you try to finish your game that way.
Even
but
better
something that's more scheduled. Let's just say. Producer Joe, what do you think about that? You think we should have 2 guys start the 5th or 6th game of every series?
No. I think you have a guy start a 6th game, but you have another guy that's ready to go on long relief if he can't go 5.
It's kind of
you give him a start.
So you want to do a spot starter? You're saying?
Yeah.
Kind of what we're saying in a way. I think
kind of the same.
On principle, we both kind of agree. Joe's just more saying take the long relief guy in the pen, and you and I are just saying take 2 starters and throw them in. So I think the theory we have is the same. How it works, listen, if Joe's theory works better than ours, shit, let's do it. That's fine with me. I don't care.
Yeah, the thing is to give these guys, these bullpen guys, a little bit of a break and get some starters in there. And but there's so many things that you have to think about. You have to think about the minor league guys. I mean, how many times can you bring them up? Can you make them spot start? How many guys can you sign? You got to move people around. All that stuff is management stuff. So that's the stuff that Stearns has to take care of for us. And he's been doing a great job for the past year and a half, couple of years with us. So, but at the end of the day, it's going to depend on how the guys perform. Okay?
I think May is more a definition of what the Mets are than June. We're having a rough month. We started the month great, but we're having a rough time right now. I don't think this is a definition of what the Mets are. It sucks. Like I've had to kind of one eye watch these games a little bit because I'm a diehard, just like you guys. And sometimes I don't need that extra stress in my life. So I check the box scores and I keep one eye in a game and I watch MLB live. But
pretty much what every Met fan does, bro.
Yeah, it's rough. But I don't I've been, of course, upset at what we're doing and tuning out social media because I don't want to hear all these stupid ass Philly and Braves fans who don't know shit. Excuse my language, but they don't know shit. Did I say shit? They don't know shit. So I've been tuning all that out because I'm not angry because, like I said, I know this is not who this team is. This is just how we're performing. It's a long season. And we said this when we were in a hot streak, and we're going to say it now when we're not in a hot streak. It's a long season. When you're in a hot streak, you got to build up as much as you can because you know you're going to have a slide before you build yourself back up and then a slide. Your up's got to be higher than your downs. And that's kind of what the Mets have been doing, obviously, because we're still only half game out. Suck it, Braves. You're still far away from us. And we're going to kick your ass tonight. But
All right,
let's go.
Let's take a step up. Well, it's a season of up and downs, but let's move on. Let's talk about not pitching anymore because we've already spoken about the bullpen. We know what needs to be done. They know what needs to be done. We need at least one starter to come in and help out and some bullpen help. Let's talk about the bottom of the lineup that's kind of been non-existent a lot of times. We have our 1 through 4 guys that are just mashing. And Lindor, I watched him yesterday. He hit the ball hard so many times. He should have had 3 hits at least that game, the way he was mashing. But 1 through 4, we're solid. These guys are doing their job. At the bottom of the order is kind of laxing. It's kind of just not doing their thing. And that's why you need a guy like Vientos to come back and provide some pop down there. You got to take a guy like Francisco Alvarez, got demoted back to AAA. Why? Not because he doesn't have the talent. Because he's got enough talent that his skill level doesn't bother him in the minor leagues. He can take that talent and just mash up on the minor leagues. When you get to the major leagues, there's a lot of little things that you have to do right. There's a lot of things that you have to know and ways you have to behave and ways you have to practice and ways you have to do things. So, Frank, I think Alvarez needed a little bit of that. In my opinion, I also think he needs a little bit of defensive skill management. Let's just say it that way. But
I was about to say, I was about to say that. I think his offensive game started spilling over to his defensive game a little bit. I think you could kind of just tell by his body language. So I think he's so much in his own head that it was also affecting his defensive game because he wasn't always the top notch. He's not like a Torrens behind the plate, but he wasn't a hack either. And he started kind of becoming a hack the last few weeks. And I think his offensive struggles leaked over to that a little bit. What do you think?
Yeah, a little bit of age. He's a young man, and it's got to hit him where you get demoted like that. Like Vientos, when he got demoted, he said, "Holy crap, this could happen to me. I am definitely a baller, but they don't care. They're gonna send me down there, and they're gonna make sure that I'm the best player I can be. Just like Alvarez, he needs to be the best player he can be. But what do we do, guys? Producer Joe, I haven't heard from you in 10 seconds. What do we do with the lower part of our order? How do we spice that up? Because Marte's not doing it. That's for sure.
You trust Stearns to make the right move. They'll send guys down. They'll bring guys up. They'll sit guys. They'll start guys. They'll get guys in there that'll produce. I have faith. I'm not concerned. They'll, between Mendoza and Stearns, they'll make the right moves.
When is Winker supposed to come back, Joe or Steve? Do you guys? Oh, I'm sorry, Rodriguez.
I don't. You know what? It's okay. You can call me Steve. People call me.
I know. It's just always on the show. Your name's Rodriguez. That's it.
Jesse Winker to start rehab assignment Sunday.
Yeah, he'd be huge. Throw him in on DH. I mean, Winker is a gamer, and he puts a little bit of that energy into the lineup too. So.
He's not eligible for activation until July 4th, which is next weekend. So
which is next week. Okay. And he looks pretty healthy. I like his swagger. That's the thing I like about Winker.
Love it.
You don't like him as your opponent because you want to beat him, physically and during the game.
When he's on Reds, when he's on Washington, team, I hated him.
He makes him.
Every time it came up, Winker likes him to stinker. Now I'm like. Now he's the best troll in the league, and he's our best troll in the league. So he's
our stinker, though. Because your fart doesn't smell as bad as somebody else's. Or always remember that. That's the way.
You're right. There's always somebody else's stinker that stinks worse.
So Metsies, here we are. We got Vientos, we got Stinker coming back. We got some offense coming up, but it's not a lot. Alvarez will be back probably by the within a month or so because he just needs to get his head together. And
I think
he just
Winky's
had a baby.
I think Winky's a big key coming back. Marte, you mentioned him before. Every time I want to give up on him, he makes me regret it. So we'll see what happens.
Oh, and remember how you guys loved that little hair in the back of his head? Did you guys remember that little patch of hair? I saw him he was talking on a show about it. This lady asked him, "What are you doing with that hair?" He goes, "Well, they make fun of me because I'm bald and all this nonsense. I just figured I wanted to show them that I can still grow hair, so I'm growing it back there." It's like a joke for him. He's kind of just being facetious about it, but it's a good thing. The team seems to be coming together, and it seems to be coming together around Soto, which is a big thing because that was a huge problem supposedly to everyone else, but apparently not to the Mets because Soto, they said he's not having any fun. He looks miserable, and that's pretty much all Skanky fans hate him. So what do you think about Soto right now, Keith? Just the way his presence is right now in the Mets.
So in two parts. So addressing the fans or some fans talking crap, the Skanky fans or like the Frank the Tank kind of Met fans. I will say on this show, we have been consistent when the numbers that these fans want to see weren't coming up from Soto. We were pointing out this guy's always on base. This guy's always trying hard. And the whole entire he's not happy crap is such nonsense. What do I think about him in general? I love him. I've always loved him throughout the year. Frustrated me sometimes, of course, because I'm a Met fan and I get frustrated easy. But in June, he's hit 9 home runs. He's batted over 300. There's a couple other ridiculous stats that go into that I don't have off the top of my head. But
here we go. Well, now that you said that, we do have a producer, top-rated producer on any sports network. He has those stats for us, and he has a little video that I think your love for Soto's just going to grow. So
let's check it out.
Ready?
Yes.
Let's check it out.
One game as we go to the bottom of the fourth.
Ruger said he's happy.
And he drives one to deep right center field. Back goes Harris to the wall. It's out of here. One pitch and the Mets are back in front on Juan Soto's 18th home run of the year. Was it 85? Soto unloads one to right center field, headed toward the wall, and it's out of here. Juan Soto with his second of the night.
I mean, monster shots.
2 home runs for the day. Okay,
Ruger, I know you're excited, but calm down.
He's a Soto fan, man. You can't be mad at the guy for that.
But he is. Well, my wife's maiden name is Soto, so he's celebrating because his family. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, you need to use a Soto last name and try to get yourself a free ticket at the City Field.
That's what I told my wife, but she said that she's Puerto Rican, he's Dominican, it won't work out that well. But we'll check it out.
We could let the Caribbean hatred go for a few minutes and get together and have some love and get us some free tickets.
Let me go on mute so you yell at my dog and Peter don't attack me.
Go yell at your dog. It's a joke. Okay, and you're on mute again? Did you tell him? Did you talk to your dog?
Yeah, I did. I just had to mute because I don't want Peter coming to my house.
Okay, well, listen, dude. The guy's hitting like 320 with 10 home runs. He's destroying this month. He's got 19 home runs for the year. He's on a pace for 90 to 100 RBIs. He's on a pace for 40 home runs. So Soto is back, and he's displaying some swag. And I think once this team's offense starts to get a little bit better and follow suit, because Soto's going to have a problem again. During this year, he's going to go into a quick little slump. Or
what annoys the hell out of me, though, Rodriguez, is we were waiting for Soto to go on this kind of streak while the rest of the team were hitting. Mm-hmm. And it kind of went the other way. Like Soto's hitting, and the rest of the team are struggling. Now again, Lindor's struggles are just he's not hitting them where they ain't because he is hitting it hard. Pete is still fairly consistent, but he's not hot. You know, but I want to see them all clicking. I just want to see us mash.
Well, that's the thing.
Happen at some point.
We have the talent. But you know, like a lot of fans now, they were all crazy. We got a great lineup. We got this. We got that. People don't. You can't forget that we have a couple of some young guys on this lineup. You got Beatty. You got Vientos. You got Alvarez. You know, all these young guys. You
got Soto, 26 years old. About the same age as those guys.
Soto's a kid too, even though he's a well-established powerhouse. You know, he's probably top 3 hitter in the league, but he's still a young guy, and he's only. God, I don't even know how to say this. He could get better. So, you know, for him to get better would be pretty amazing. Okay, but tonight he needs to get really good because tonight we're facing the Braves again, and we're facing that guy Is it Holmes or something like that? What's the guy's name? Their pitcher, which I have on my fantasy staff, he's done a pretty good job for me. Yeah, he's doing a good job, but he's getting me some points. so tonight we have Holmes, I think, against Griffin Canning, right? Griffin Canning, 9 and is he 9-3 or 6-3?
It's on the screen. I
can't
you can
see it because my screen is so small.
7-3 with a 3.91 ERA. I mean, obviously that's elevated through June, but he's been doing a good job this year. So
3.9. He was the worst pitcher in baseball last year. So the fact that he even has a winning record and an ERA under 4 is a godsend. This guy could end up with 10 wins at the All-Star break and not make the All-Star team. So think about that. But I'm looking for a win tonight. I think we can do it. I think we need to do it. We have to split the series with these guys. We just have to.
Yeah, no.
And after tonight, we got the Pirates coming into town, I believe.
Yeah, and as Isaac pointed out earlier, the Phillies lost today to the Astros. So if we win, we go back a half game up.
There you go. There you go. We're planning on winning. That's what I'm planning on doing. I'm planning on winning. So the Pirates series. Who's up first for the Pirates series for us?
Peterson, steady all year. Fantastic job. What do you think about that, guys? Let's start with you, Lars.
With Peterson up against Mitch Keller, the Pirates are a struggling team. We should beat them, and that's all I'm going to say is if we want to be a first place team, this is one of those games that we really should win and take advantage of the fact that we're playing an under 500 team. We should sweep. I'm not even going to pull punches. We should sweep.
We should sweep with an offense that's hurting and a bullpen that's been playing fairly bad. I can't agree with that. I'm hoping that you're right, but I would look at 2 out of 3 and Peterson trying to become a primary lefty in the.
Right. Rodriguez seemed to actually lost. So, yeah, I mean, honestly, I think it'll be really good if we see Peterson go 8 innings. He's shown he can do it, and I don't see why he should not continue to do that. It'll give the bullpen a really nice rest. And that's tomorrow. I mean, with Griffin Canning, I would like to see him even go 7 innings tonight and get that W. Like George said, we got to get that W.
These next 2 guys got to really try to rest the bullpen as much as they can because the guys coming up behind them, you got Blackburn and Montas. So, that you don't expect to get 6-7 innings out of those guys. So,
no,
you got to. That's where you got to get it out of.
I think I've expressed
Canning and Peterson.
I am not a Blackburn fan. Montas, I'll give him a shot. But what I've seen of him, other than his first start in the regular season, not so much a fan either. But he does have a bit of a track record, so I'll have a little more faith in him. Blackburn, we got to get somebody up that or somebody healthy that can just push him into a lesser position because I don't think he's that good, Joe. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, he hasn't impressed at all, neither in AAA or since he got called up, and it's starting to get to be a concern. We're
Yeah,
talking
I mean
about
Rodriguez.
Blackburn
Blackburn,
Rodriguez.
but
Oh, Blackburn.
yeah, you
Blackburn,
love
when
him.
he first came up, he did a decent job. But you know, you got to remember that the same way Blackburn is not performing for us, it's the same way there's that other guy that we had last year that just went to another team and he's coming up and he's basically an ace for them. What was that guy, the old Milwaukee Brewer guy? He's pitching for another team now. He's been pitching fairly well. So these guys need time. These guys need to actually pitch. Now, of course, we had Blackburn because he's not a great pitcher. If he was a great pitcher, the other team would never let him go. But at the end of the day, we need guys like Blackburn and Budo and all these guys to do their thing. So if you guys are saying 2 out of 3 out of Pittsburgh, I'm in on that. Keith says sweep. Producer Joe, I didn't get to hear you because we had some technical difficulties. So what are you saying on this?
100% sweep, absolutely.
100% sweep.
Yeah,
From
the Mets are
from
back.
your
Now.
mouth to God's ears, as they
Mets are
say.
back. We're
Yeah.
back. We're back.
We're back.
And I think it's a necessity. I think this is the series we need to bounce back. And everybody said, "Oh, you played the good teams and you lost." That's not true. We've lost recently, but if you watch the first half of the season, that's not always the case. So all you fans that are going to say that who are not Met fans, but this Pirate series is a series that we really need to take advantage of, an under 500 team, and put some W's on the board and hopefully take it a better lead over the Phillies.
All right,
Phillies
man.
are up.
So
You know,
this is what
they're
we're calling it. I'm calling 2 out of 3. You guys are calling a perfect sweep. And
Yep.
I believe you guys. And after today's win, we'll be what? 4 for 4 in the next 4 games. A little bit of a jinx or whatever it is, but let's
nice
just
5-game winning streak. Let's go.
Let's go. Let's get that winning streak going. Now the game's coming up. So quickly, Mr. Lares, Mr. Keith, Mr. Joe, Producer Joe, tell us, what do you know? What do you think, Keith? Last words.
I think that it's a shame that Farace's joining a Yankee podcast instead of the Mets podcast tonight. I just want to let you know, Farace, I forgive you. I think the Mets are going to absolutely win tonight. I just don't know how the Mets are going to win because they're so inconsistent in how they win. I'm going to just take a shot in the dark, and we're just going to explode offensively tonight. Let's go Mets, and then 3 out of 3 against the Pirates.
Producer Joe, what do you think? Do you think somebody's going to explode tonight? He's laughing. Producer Joe, what?
Yeah. What? No, I think Soto is going to continue his tour June. I think he's going to help carry this team down this mini stretch into the break, which is going to be a much welcome break and much needed all-star break for us to get a little rest. But I think we finish strong, and it starts this weekend. You gotta bottom feed, and this is it. This is when we got to do it. Let's go Mets.
I agree 100%. This is the way to go into the All-Star break. Bottom feed, beat up on the Pirates. I think Milwaukee is next, if I'm not mistaken, or something like that. Bottom feed on them. We'll talk about them next week. However, let's go Mets. Let's beat these teams up. Keith, give me a fuacata. Don't say, just give me a quick fuacata because we need it.
I'll give you a fuacata, but real quick. George called Alonso homer. Quick, Rodriguez. Who's homer tonight? Pick a Met to homer tonight.
Huh? I don't care about that.
Just prediction.
Soto.
Just play along.
Okay, Soto.
Joe.
Yeah, sorry, the mute was on. Yeah, Soto.
So I'm going to go with Soto also, and a big giant fuacata to that Braves pitcher Strider. Even though we're not facing him tonight, he deserves a fuacata. I hope his whole career is fuacata.
Let's start building some hatred for these Braves and have a good team fight. All right, let's go Mets. Let's win tonight. Let's sweep the Pirates, sweep everybody else, go into the All-Star break, take a nice little break for us, just chill out, get these guys healthy, come back strong, finish out the season, and win the World Series. Let's go, Mets. Peace out. Producer Joe, get us out of here.
Out.
Put it in the box.